this morning. Yes, I am. So, I just went live talking about crawl before you walk. That's coming out, I think, Saturday. And I'm going to set this one at a certain pace, okay? I want to talk about basically the mindset. What is the mindset? What is mind? You know, these things that's told to us, and taught to us. You know, a lot of this stuff is what is wrong. A lot of these things is wrong because, you know, at the time when these things was coming about and these things was talking about, in order to understand the spiritual realm and to understand certain things, we would come up with words, procreate words that will fit the narrative on how to explain the unexplained. And one of them is the mind. I'm going to give you some information, all right, coming from a spiritual sense so that you can understand what is the mind and enslaving the mind, basically. What is the mind? The mind ain't nothing but the what? Is the spirit. Is the spirit. It's a duplication of the Alpha Omega, the Creator, that was taught to us to say that it was the mind. No. It's the spirit. The spirit and the mind is the same, but they using a word that which you cannot understand, saying that it is the mind. That is their definition to understand the spirit. The spirit is the mind. Is no difference. Now I'm bringing up to the forefront is that the spirit is the mind and the mind is the spirit. It's all the spirit. It's the ruh that actually duplication of the Alpha Omega, the creating everything in existence. Do you understand? And the brain, your brain is nothing but a sponge that holds your experience and thoughts, right? Of understanding of your free will. See, these things need to be taught to us, and it needs to be taught on a higher level on which we can understand. And the reason why I'm bringing this to you because it's really, really important because people been saying the mind is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. No, the spirit is the most terrible thing that you can waste. It's the spirit, not the mind. The mind is just a word that does not exist. The spirit exists. Do you understand what I'm saying? That your spirit goes through experience, goes through triumphs, go through, making decisions and stuff like that because it has the free will. It is your spirit in the root, right? In the nas, basically, has the free will. So what happened, being that you have the free will, right? The brain needs to house what? It needs to house the thoughts and understanding, which the things that you can procreate. We procreate. Do you understand that? And through procreation and through your very DNA and bloodline, it can be passed on from generation and generation and generation. We know that. We know that to be truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is coming from a spiritual sense. Because the more that you can endure, the more that you can endure and the more that you can experience, you can pass it on in your very bloodline, in your DNA. Because the Alpha Omega traded it that way. He traded that way because your physical is unique. It's top tier. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is why it's really, really important to get what? To be in tune with your spirit. Your spirit is your mind, and your mind is your spirit. Your spirit is the most terrible thing that you can waste, not your mind, because your mind is your spirit and spirit is your mind. If you understand what I'm saying, we've been taught wrong. We've been taught that we have a spirit, we have a soul, we have a mind, we have a brain. No, it's spirit, right? It's spirit, brain, and what? The nafs. That's what we have. And this is from a spiritual sense. And in order to understand this, right, you have to do what? Crawl before you walk. Crawl before you walk. This is how you get the knowledge, and this is how you get the understanding. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, right, it's really, really important to find out who you are. You are a spirit. You are a duplicate of the Creator. You are the Creator, and the Creator is you. So, everything that's going around you, that's going around in your circle, that's going around in your square, that's going around, are forces that you may not see and those that you could see, right? It is your ability and your knowledge to understand it. It's to understand this. That's why it's important to crawl before you walk. Because most people been through history and throughout this history, out of existence, they did what? They walk before they crawl. And this is what most people do. They want to walk. They don't want to crawl. They want the here and now and forever, right now. But there is no here and now forever. Do you understand that? It's only a deception of deceive of you, of your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on who you are. Your mind is the spirit, and your spirit is the mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the spirit, it's no mind. Your spirit goes through experience, it goes through a lot of things, turmoil, problems, ups and downs. That's the experience, and your brain house it. Your brain is there to house it. And in your brains, there's different chambers of you learning. And you passing on the knowledge. And you passing on the information. And experience. It's because it's your spirit that goes through it, not your mind. I don't even know what the mind is. I don't know what they came up with that. That is because it dilutes you, right? From the path of what you should understand from a spiritual sense. I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this. And the reason why I said the mindset is the spirit, and the spirit is the mindset. It's the free will. That's why it's mind and set. Mind and set. That means free will. That means free will, beloved. And this is why it's really, really important to understand, right, the scientific terminology of yourself, of your brain, mind, body, and soul. Do you understand that? I understand that these words are here to understand. But these are no separation. There's no separation. They all intertwine with one another. They all feed off each other. They all need each other. Do you understand? And how you gain the knowledge, wisdom, understanding if you go through experience. You know? So the spirit is the mind, and the mind is the spirit. There's no difference. And this is why it's really, really important for us to carry this on and to understand where you're going and where you came from. You understand? It's a really, really big campaign for you to understand that. This is why I tell all my followers, all my subscribers, right? Get this information out, because nobody's not talking about this information. Nobody's not talking about this, right? It's not even that some people don't want to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear how they can get paid. They want to hear the here and now, right now. They want to walk before they crawl. And the problem with that, walking before you crawl, right? You don't know. You don't understand. So what happens is that it catches up with you, and you have to pay the consequences of what? of not crawling before you walk. In one particular day, it don't have to be now, right? It don't have to be in seconds, minutes, an hour, a year, 2 years, 5 years. Somewhere down the line, you are going to get into crawl mode. Because you did why? You took the shortcut and to begin to walk. So you have not gained no knowledge, wisdom, or understanding of yourself because you took the shortcut on to walking into the information, into guiding in the information. Crawl into the information. Walk into the information. Eat with the information. Become one with the information. And the information is the Alpha, Omega, the creator, everything in existence, which is important for you and I. That's why I gotta hit hard, I gotta hit hard, I gotta hit hard. And this is really, really important for you and I to hit hard, to crawl before we walk. Do not walk before you crawl. Because at the end of the day, you are gonna suffer. In the end, it's gonna come to you. I know it all too well. So the mind is the spirit and the spirit is the mind. This is the definition of the spirit. Because they made this up because they couldn't understand the spirit. They couldn't understand experience. They couldn't understand that. So once these things are placed in front of you, this is to what? To enslave your spirit so it could be enslaved because it has the will to do what? To disbelieve or believe. To disbelieve or believe. To do an act of worship or do not do an act of worship. It has the will to do that. It has the will to do that. And then when you do these things, it gains the information and upload it to your brain. And your brain houses information and then you pass it on, whether it be evil or good. This is facts. So it's really, really important to understand what they said, that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. No, the spirit is a terrible thing to waste. It's your spirit, your spirit, your spirit. Right? Your free will. That is what's going to be judged. Not that mind that's made up, that people made this up. It's your spirit and your free will that's going to be judged and questioned at the end of the day, beginning of the day, in the middle of the day. So I just want to come to you and drop this information upon you to tell you that it is the same. It is the spirit. So the spirit is a terrible thing to waste, not the mind, because the mind does not exist. It is the spirit. It's just a word that was made up and procreate to try to get to understand your spirit, which they don't have no knowledge of it. I just broke down what is the spirit. The spirit is him and you are him. He duplicated himself and created it outside of him, a piece of him. This is actually true fact. So you know what? Become who you are. Become one with him, the Alpha Omega. This is the message that I'm talking about. This is the message. That is the message. And that's what I want to get the information out to you so you can understand. That's right. So you guys have an amazing, beautiful, 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 beautiful day. Peace, y'all. Later.